Hey everybody, welcome to the interview. And today's one is with, as you can see, with some text on the screen there, Mr. Lee Page. How you doing?
I'm good. I say that lightly, see how long I can stay there for, but yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, well, and you've done it in not too long a time, right?
Yeah, I've been playing Death Guard now since October. I started the new season, Coventry. I thought I'll give them a go, basically. And yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's good, a big change, because remind everybody kind of about your, I guess, last couple of years of your playing, what you've been doing.
I used to be the Tyrannid guy. I still am the Tyrannid guy, I guess.
Yeah, you are.
Since joining Vanguard and playing on stream, I just thought I'd try something different, and I'm grateful that I've played Tyrannid to start with, because we've had this conversation off camera.
Yeah.
When you're so used to certain keywords that an army or detachment are locked into, when you move on to a different faction that can open up new data sheets and keywords and rules that you're not used to, like grenades and tank shot, thing gets spicy. It's like playing on cheat mode.
Yeah, it must be weird, because I guess I, as a 5-year Death Guard player, was like, take grenades for granted, right? I mean, I've got characters with grenades keyword. Mortarian's got the grenades keyword. But yeah, it's really funny to think that that's just something you've never had.
No, I've never had tank shot, never had grenades, nothing like that. Yeah, it's amazing. I can kill things before I can charge. And
yeah. You can do everything now. So I mean, talking on that then, like, what was I guess what I would term the speed shock be going from NIDS to Death Guard. I mean, I know everyone thinks Death Guard is really slow, and infantry, yeah, fair enough, but we've got we've got tricks, right, to make that not so bad.
I think before you look at the data sheets and you see 5-inch move, and that's slow. Death Guard are not slow at all, mate.
No, they're not.
They're actually pretty up there with one of the fastest. What I mean by that is all of your drones move 10. You know, the blight drones, they've got fly keywords. They can fly over terrain or fly over to stop move blocks, which are great. The only ones that don't have the fly keyword are the haulers, but you know, who needs fly on those?
Exactly.
And your slowest moving infantry, you want to be deep striking anyway. And if it doesn't have deep strike, it's got infiltrate. So it's great.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, and I think it's a really big misconception people have, and I think the question was more probably from a viewer maybe going who isn't familiar with Death Guard as an army, might have gone, well, Tyranids are really fast, Death Guard are really slow, so you must have found that weird. But I agree with you. The amount of people who I've played against that have just gone, how are you basically got me in my deployment zone with Death Guard? You know that. Yeah. It's just you've got to set it up, haven't you?
I think the biggest change for me as a player was the pacing of the massive pace difference. For me, I used to love turn 1 Alpha Strike because I'm a big believer, and I still say this now, if you can put your opponent on the back foot with Tyranids in rounds 1, 2 and 3, normally by turns 4 you've lost your army, but you've done enough and scored enough to secure the victory. Definitely. Death Guard are a little bit different to that. I can afford to sit back a turn and just wait. I don't need to apply that pressure because I want the opponent to come close to me anyway. Closer you are to me, contagion is more deadly.
Yeah. And come closer.
Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I've learnt a lot going from Tyranids, and I think it's actually made me a better player going from Tyranids to Death Guard, because it's easy. Things die.
Yeah, it's a really funny thing when you play armies that are like, oh yeah, so I've got all this movement and I can do this, I want to come, and you're like, good, well I want you to come close to me. Like the sooner that happens, the better it is for me, really, as a player. But and so how do you find the kind of the asset management game playing Death Guard, which is not a lot more expensive, right, for units, especially these days?
It is. I was actually talking to Jordan about this the other day. Like, I've actually got more activations in Death Guard than I had with my Tyranids, and that's because the way I built my list, I like to go drone heavy. And I did play with the Plague Marines and stuff, but if you come against someone that's an half decent player that can move, block you, and screen at your Plague Marines, then they're trapped in a rhino. I've actually built my list very similar to my play style for Tyranids. Like,
Okay.
yes, instead of 3 exocrines, I've got 3 blight drones.
Yeah.
And these drones are cheaper and they hit,
They are.
if not harder, which is great. And I don't have Lixers, I've now got Poxwalkers, so my gameplay is very similar. I just adopted a little bit more of a defensive play. Like I said, I don't need to turn 1 Alpha Strike with GCs anymore. I can sit back. No, but they're a bit of a shock. One of my favourite units is also one of my most hated units.
Go on.
And that's the Death Shroud. Because they're amazing when they make the charge.
Well, just don't fail the rolls. I have this conversation with Aidan all the time, and he's like, "Oh, I CP reroll." I'm like, "Well, just make them all. Just roll 6s at least."
It is that. I think it's a skill issue, Dave.
It is. It's because you need. It's because you need. I've got some of these dice, by the way. I've got some new stuff in, so I'm sending you some. They're. Yeah, I mean, so why are they your? And I think you just said why they're potentially your most hated unit as well when that happens. But then why are they your favourite?
The way my list works, I've actually built it around the Death Shroud. It's about how much damage can I do and how much screening can I do to force my opponent forward. Like I play Vectorum.
You do, yeah.
So I've got the sticky objectives.
Yeah.
So
what's in your typical list?
One,
before you talk about the Death Shroud, what's the list you've been playing?
What I've been playing at the moment is Demon Prince with the 5 Inferno Pain enhancements. I'll run 2 Lord of Contagions, one of them with the 5 up. Well, I change it depending on points. I either have the Crit 5 enhancements or I go with the Dev Wound one. If I take the Dev Wounds one, I only have 2 Spawn and 2 Poxwalkers. If I take the Demon Weapon and Nurgle, I have 3 Poxwalkers and 2 Spawn because I've got the extra points to flex into the unit. But lately, the success I've had with 2 Lord of Contagions, I take the Lord of Virulence, but I run him solo.
Yeah.
Because he's small enough to drop in behind him lines. He normally drops down in my go turn just to aid my drones.
Just to give the line of sight. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also a menace on his own if I'm against anything like Eldar or Drakari, so that's T3, because that anti-infantry 2-up twin map is not to be ignored. It's pretty nasty.
And he's got 4-up, he's a 2-up, 4-up as well, so he can tank stuff as well if you just spike those 4s.
Especially at T7, like the amount of times people go like, is it T5? Nope, T7. No. And you go, what? Yep, T7. And I think that's what's great, just the durability of the units. I actually played the once where I actually dropped the Demon Prince and I ran the Lord Virulence with the 5-up Inferno Pain on his own. And people just ignore him.
No thanks. Yeah,
none of that. And then I run 2 units of Spawn, I run 2 units of Poxwalkers, I run 2 Lawnmower Drones, the permitted drones. I run 3 of the Blight Hauler drones, and then I have the 2 little Mephitic Blight Haulers.
Yep.
And that's basically, and the Taliban obviously is staple. And
just a home counting.
Basically my list. Yeah,
it's good, man.
I've got about 15 or 16 activations in the list, which is
really good.
Lovely. And anything less than that now, I don't struggle, but like I just prefer to have, the way I play is I will sticky the main. If I get turn 1, a lot of people prefer to go second in the UKTC maps, whereas I actually like going first.
With Virulent Vectorum, you want to go if you want to get those Poxwalkers on a point and stick here and start playing the game ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And even if I want to play a little more defensive, I will normally line my Poxwalkers on that mid ruin. I'll have 1 on each flank. And then I will then scout up my Spawn, sticky, and then move 8 inches back into safety.
Yeah.
Now I've got 3 objectives sticky, and I'm like, right, that's my turn. Now you have to show me something.
Yeah.
And it's just about trading points. Like, I'll happily lose 65 points worth of Spawn if you have Poxwalkers for you to then come and show me something.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the drones, because it's matchup dependent. There's some matchups where my little Mephitic drones are great, but other times if I'm against an infantry-based melee army where 2 melter shots aren't really great, I will use them to hold objectives. Now they have to They have to send something that's going to OC me, OC3,
Yep.
or send something that's going to be strong enough to take down T9 model.
Yeah. 10 wounds, 3 up, 5 up. So it's a bigger ask to try and get rid of. And also even poxwalkers, like you make them go to ground. I've done this so many times, and people just underestimate how much they've got to chuck into that to kill it.
Yeah, especially when they send something like scouts as well, and they bounce off you with -1 to hit, and then you pick
100%.
up them on return, and then you regenerate. It's amazing.
I've had it where people roll an immolator up, and I've just gone, that's not enough shots. No, 2d6 is not going to wipe this unit with go to ground. And they're like, oh no, you're fine. And then they're like, oh, half the squad's still alive. And you're like, yeah, now you're in contagion.
Exactly, yeah.
It's good.
No,
so
it's
the durability, I don't think it still exists quite as bad as it was, but there was always the durability myth of like Death Guard are just unkillable, etc. What was your opinion on it, not having played it and then played it? Do you think they are like to the T7 you mentioned, right? So on old Terminators, T7 on the Spawn, T11 on Demon Prince, like all that. Do you find that is a real step change from what you were playing, or was it as good as you thought it would be?
It's very matchup dependent. I know that there's certain factions out there, they struggle into the T12, and having, if we look at most combat armies, other than say World Eaters with their we died. There you go.
We'll fix that in post-production.
We'll just CGI back on, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than like World Eaters and like fast melee armies, unless you're like strength 8 in combat, sometimes you bounce off the.
Yeah, they do.
And like, again, the World Eaters matchup. If I go -1 to hit and you have to get close, you're scoring pieces, which are also your spawn, and now hitting me on 5s, winning me on 5s.
Yeah.
And it's, oh, okay, and then here's some grenades back or some reverse mortal wounds. I definitely think that certain matchups do struggle, but on the flip side, there's also things that take us down very quick, like
100%.
anti-vehicle lists. Especially for me, I fear anything with anti-vehicle because I'm quite vehicle heavy. If you've got anti-infantry weapons, Death Shroud, regardless of how strong they are, if you've got an anti-infantry 2-up flamer or weapons,
all those immortal wounds has always been the Achilles heel, right? Apart from your enhancement situation, we don't have feel no pains across any of our key infantry.
Yeah, for sure. But I do like the Death Shroud and the Royal Contagion because he's a weapon on his own, even on his own.
He's a monster,
Yeah, he might lose the sustained hits when he leaves the squad, but to charge into something with six attacks with the enhancement.
Yeah.
It's the fact that like sometimes when I fail the charge, I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. When they kill the Death Shroud, if they don't kill all
you
the
don't
Death
wipe,
Shroud, even if I've got one left with 1 wound, you got a problem now. Because that charging into you with the sustain, the crit 5s or the dev wounds, it's it's so hard,
Yeah, like I said, you spike the roll, and it's bad. I mean, I was playing Votan the other week, and I charged my Death Shroud in. I put 1 Death Shroud model into 3 of those Votan bikes, and the rest of them went into a Hecaton Land Fortress. The one guy with 4 attacks rolled 3 6s to hit, and so I ended up with 7 attacks going through, and basically wiped the bike squad on his own before I even. And it was like, you're just like, it doesn't happen all the time, obviously, but
no. But when it does,
yeah, he's a big damage enhancer, that the Lord of Contagion is. Have you?
I've yet to try running a 6-man deck.
Oh man, you it's a hell of a drug.
That's what I'm scared of. Like at the moment, the way I think 3 and a Lord of Contagion, I've never, if I make the charge, I've never not killed. The kill.
Yeah.
So I just feel that 6 might be a little bit overkill, especially if I fail that charge. Because then you've got it's like 400 odd points just sitting there. But what I do like about it is if they make the charge and I can spread now wide, I can pile into other things, then that's going to be a problem for my opponent.
And also the going from 4 to 7 d6 anti-infantry shots is a much bigger Overwatch impact. It's a much bigger horde wipe. You get 35 shots with your flamers into something you're making -1 toughness. Even at strength 3, you're wiping like sisters on 3s.
No,
And so, but it's a much bigger footprint as well, in terms of a base to get a unit to get down. But I think if what you've got's working for you, and it clearly is, man, to be to what results you've had, then don't change it. But what you should definitely do is have a play with it at some point in a friendly game, just to have fun with it, because that thing running into a knight or doing anything just hops around the board, and especially in Death Lord's Chosen, where you start it on the board and then you basically go, okay, turn 1, I can pick it up and drop it on you, or it just runs through the middle ruin into something and just wipes it and goes, all right, come out.
That's what I do like, the idea of running it in a different detachment where I can give them the enhancement, where I can pick them back up again and then drop them back in. I think that's where 6 of them would be ideal. But I've also been looking at Champions of Contagion. I think I want to try and flex into that, because having T9
T9 is amazing. Yeah,
it's in shooting and combat as well, which is just ludicrous.
Yeah, I mean, you have, like, I had Val's unit with Paragons shoot melters at them at strength 9, and I was like, well, they're now T9, and suddenly all those things were wounding on 4s, and like the wound, and then you get 4-up saves, so you 50-50 the wound roll, and then you 50-50 the save again, and it's pretty horrendous.
No, and there's a strat in there that I really like, the crit 5s on the whole unit, rather than, because I know what crit 5s does on the Lord of Contagion alone, so to give it the whole unit. It's pretty there's a nice, in Death Lord's Chosen, you'd like re-roll all hits into infantry as well, so you put a 6-man into multi-charge units, and then, like, so if you go into, once again, game recently played Eldar, multi-charge 3 units, and then basically popped re-roll hit roll into infantry, and then did 58 sweep attacks and had full re-rolls with 6s that were lethal sustained, and with Lance, and it was like I didn't have enough dice, and I had about 70 with me, I think. So it's kind of, but it's a fun unit. But like I said, I think we're having a lot of success with it in as a 3-man in VV. But I think you're right. If you played another detachment, there's probably argument for giving it a go. I used to actually run the list with 2 carnivores in there.
Yeah.
Because the carnivores gave me something where the lawnmower drones failed, and that was I could intervene with things.
Yeah.
Because you can't intervene with the drone because it's not a walker.
Yeah.
So I actually swapped those out and started running carnivores, and I used to back them up with poxwalkers or spores, so I could still spread my contagion range.
Yeah.
And having that 14-inch move with the reroll advance or reroll charge, it was pretty spicy.
Well, I think the thing we found, particularly talking on Discussing Resilient, is the carnivore, once you usually get to use the carnivore once and then it's dead.
Yeah.
And you go, and that, don't get me wrong, you can make that do a lot of work, but a drone, I find you can put in, it can survive, and it can activate again. And particularly with a fullback in charge or something on the drone, on the lawnmower, that's really decent.
Yeah, I have looked at putting them with the Death Splitters.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 2d6, yeah.
But I'm like, if I roll 2 1s on that, I just prefer the consistency
100%.
of the 10 attacks.
Guaranteed 10.
Yeah.
And have you enjoyed having lethals everywhere?
Amazing. I say that to my opponents, I go, everything's got lethals all on this board.
Yeah. It's such an easy conversation. You're like, I have lethals on everything except that.
Yeah. And then I have to remind my opponent about the Dash Road. I said, look, I can drop in 6, but only using Contagion. And my opponent's screaming at the backfield.
That's what mine do all the time. Yeah.
Crack on, but
you don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's when I charge into them, and I get I get sustained lethal, and I go and I'm
Lance,
and I go, how? I go, I also get Lancers. I'm like, what? I'm like, this unit's got basically every day shooting keyword known to me.
Yeah, and it's like when you're at a table and you're playing, so you're just really off. Like, I'm doing this, I get this, and then and it's a it's a unit that you'd be wounding on 3s, like you said, because it's T9 or something, or it's or T10 or T11, and then you're like, oh no, sorry, it's still 2s.
Yeah, I tried running. I went to the teams events and I had 3 units of Dash Road, and I tried running one of them just solo, no character attached. But I also had the Lord Virulent, so I could drop down, attaching if I wanted to, so I had the full wound rolls.
Yeah.
And they're great. Don't get me wrong, but for 160 points, you need the Lord of Contagion with them.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah. He makes the 3-man go to a whole new level.
Yeah. I'm really looking and leaning into these. I spoke to you off camera as well about the 10 Brick of Blight Lords.
Yeah.
Like those guys with -1 to damage.
Yep.
Could be absolutely annoying. And I think I know most people run them the Lord of Virulence, or people just run them as just a bare 10. But if I was to drop 3 Death Shroud and 1 Lord of Contagion, or maybe just 3 Death Shroud, bring a brick of 10, and then have a Lord of Contagion with the Blight Lords, I've now got 30 attacks with Sustain, Lance and Lethal, which, just incredible.
Yeah, I mean the lance in that does make the difference, because otherwise it's strength 5, and it's like it's still AP22, but I find
it's just buying my dice, isn't it? It's just buying my dice.
Yeah, it's really good. I think those guys though personally are the I would always whack the LOV with them, the Lord of Virulence, just because in Overwatch as well, you get full rerolls once you got your hits, and you've got his flamer, 2 other flamers, so you've got a guaranteed set of hits already going in. And that there's some real fun with that unit, and it's very difficult to clear.
Yeah, because that unit alone, just before you add on all the Blight Launchers and stuff, you've got 3 anti-infantry tilt flamers. That'll be -2. It goes to
+1 strength, +1 AP.
Yeah, it's just nice. I need to destroy it.
It's a good one. When I'm playing Deathlord's Chosen, I've been playing 10 Blight Lord Brick, 2 Death Shrouds, 1 large, 1 small, pops, couple of Demon Engines, and then that Blight Lord unit just sitting behind the mid ruin is great. And with some Poxwalkers that I say have gone on the middle, and you're like, well, come and get rid of them, and then the Blight Lords just come through the wall, shoot the crap out of whatever's there. If there's anything left of it, they charge it, and then they sit there on the middle, and then you go, great, well now you've got to come and get rid of that. Whilst there's Poxwalkers on other points and Spawn ready to move up to cause contagion, and Death Shroud are going to come down on top of them.
Yeah.
It's
it's trying to fit it in. It'd be an absolute dream to have a brick of 10 and then 2 units of Death Shroud as well.
Doesn't work in.
So expensive.
It only works in DLC because just for watching Deathlord's Chosen, just because everything is Terminator led, right? All the strats are Terminator. They're all 1 CP.
Yeah, sure.
So you put it. When I was playing Champions of Contagion, for example, like I had a very different list into that. It was much more, as Hayden would probably call it, toolboxy, to take advantage of being able to make things T8 or T9 and use those. But yeah, it's a fun other detachment to run in. But it's good to see you've been having. I think Champions of Contagion would be your natural next kind of jump.
Yeah, that's a question for a Death Guard player like yourself. But is there much difference between the T9 Terminators opposed to the -1 damage? Does it work out to be roughly the same, or is one slightly better?
As you've said multiple times already, it's going to be matchup dependent. We've discussed this a lot. The difference is -1 damage is guaranteed against anything.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what what is coming in. It's always going to be -1 damage.
Yeah, even if they spike the dice roll, it's -1 damage.
It's still -1 damage.
Dice roll, yeah. I see what you're saying.
So from a pure statistics point of view, -1 damage is probably the winner. But suddenly break pointing upwards like your opponent's wound rolls, and then having 4-up invulns for anything left. I've seen it in games where it's just broken like my opponents. It's like you said, right? If you might have failed the charge, right, and you've got that brick of Terminators or whatever there with the Lord of Contagion, and then they're hanging out there, and then your opponent's like, great, oh now I get to go and pick them up, and then you pop T9 on them, and suddenly that attack falls flat on its face, and now they're face to face with a load of Terminators that are going to absolutely muller them in your turn. There's things like that where the +2 toughness can really swing the game for you as well. I think the crux of that then is that -1 damage is guaranteed, whereas like the other one is probably a bit more situational, but can really kind of help swing a game round. So I guess the last couple of minutes, I think I wanted to get your opinions on are. Do you think you think having is Death Guard a turns 4 and 5 kind of army now, or do you think it is kind of like it can happen in the kind of mid turns as well?
I think Death Guard in the right hands, you can detect the base. If you wanted to go full stand turn 2 and drop your Death Shroud in, you can. Or if you want to sit back and wait till turn 3 and 4, you absolutely can as well. Just monitor the game state, I guess. I've had times where I've full sent absolutely everything turn 2 and I've tailed my opponents.
Yep.
And then other times where I'm forced to maybe rapid ingress my Death Shroud in my opponent's turn, wait a little bit, and then I've come out on turn 4 as equally as effective. But yeah, again, I just watch the game state and take it from there. But it's not like if I don't drop the Death Shroud in now I lose, or they have to come in now I lose. Like it's one of them. Like if you can control the pace of your Poxwalkers and slow your opponent down, or keep giving them things that they don't really want to kill.
Yeah,
that's what I love about the drones being OC3.
Yeah,
I'll put 2 drones there, and now you have to show me something that either OCs me or can deal with 2 drones. And now you've sent something that's valuable to me, and then right there's my target now. So here's another drone to shoot that. Here's a Death Shroud, and I do like the play style.
So if you got so to anyone that's maybe thinking I play or I have played for a long time like another army, or I'm more specialised in another army and I've thought about giving Death Guard a go, what would you anything you'd say to those people to encourage them or to assuage any concerns?
I think you just need to give them the test and absolutely ignore all of the misconceptions around them, because they're not slow at all, and the damage output that you can get from this army is ludicrous, like insane. Especially if you, like I said, if you come from something that you'd like, maybe elves or something that's not quite as durable, having those T7 Terminators and T9 drones that are moves 10 inches, like what's not to like about it? Like every single time I've come against my opponent, they always have the same kind of reaction to Death Guard. Like, they know it's not a walk in the park.
No.
Like it's like, I think Death Guard are in a good place where they're not completely busted and like the winning loads of super majors. They're not a walkover. In the right hands, like there's not one army in the game that can just completely blast them board. So that's what I like about them.
Cool, man. And then I guess final thing is 11th edition. Any hopes for what might be seen for Death Guard in there that you've started to, or are you quite open to just seeing what they do?
Well, hopefully we get some T9 Death Shroud. I'm not sure what to expect. I'm excited for 11th and to see what's around the corner.
It's not far, hopefully.
No, I don't think it's far at all. But yeah, it's just going to be a nice kind of refresh. I'm excited because it's kind of like when you've been through the ropes a bit and you've played certain people and you get to see the same kind of lists. You see Space Marines or you see Turds, you kind of know exactly what list is going to be.
Yeah, you do.
When it resets, it kind of like it's the same game but it's different, and everyone's back on the same starting level, and it's fun again. New missions, new cards, new deployments. So now I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be really. I think it's been really good for the game overall, and I think there's like you said, there's suddenly just a few little changes just shake up the whole meta, don't they?
So what about yourself then? Are you sticking to the chaos now, or will we see Death Guard?
Yeah, definitely was. Death Guard's still my number one love, but I've certainly been enjoying. I said to you off camera, having access to rules that I've never had before. Playing. Like I said, I've been playing Renegade Warband, and being able to advance shoot and charge with my entire army, because it's all got assault as well anyway, or fall back shoot and charge, and just to be able to shoot things off the table really with infantry, like having things like havocs, and like I said, las cannons out of rhinos just from poking around the corner of a building and the first time I shot shooting a Vindicator, I was like, oh, Death Guard should have these. Like they're from the same armory that we all had. But that's really fun.
No, I think that's what it is. I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's like I'm never going to move away from Tyranids. Like they're always going to be my main faction. But right now, because I'm having so much fun and I'm playing something different, and I've got access to different gameplay and styles, that's what's keeping me on the Death Guard, I think. But who knows? We might see Nids from the Mids come back for 11th edition. We'll see.
Yeah, I think so. It'd be good. That'd be good. Well, look, Lee, thanks for taking time to come and chat about the about Death Guard and how you've done. I look forward to seeing you soon. And I think I'll definitely be getting Death Guard back out on the table soon. And just finally, what tournaments are you at coming up? Anything? Are people going to see you at anything?
So, I'm at ITT in May.
Okay.
And I'm also looking to go to the South Coast and Bristol.
Nice.
That's my next ones.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you soon.
No, pleasure, mate. Yeah. Till next time.
Cheers.
That's it, guys. Bye-bye.